It's me, 𝗥𝗶𝗆.
And I'm Renata from the 𝗍_𝘅𝘆. And in this episode of the 𝗫𝗍𝘆𝘆 podcast, we're going to be covering a little bit of Eurovision 2024 news, do a little bit of a recap about this mini Eurovision event that the Polish broadcasters decided to host. And we're going to look a little bit at what the Eurovision class of 2023 has been up to since the contest. And for fun at the end, we're going to talk about a little bit of Eurovision Twitter drama. Because why not?
Yes, we love the drama.
Live for the drama.
But first, we're going to give a shout out to our new patrons. These are people that went over to our Patreon, patreon.com/the 𝗫𝗍𝘆 and subscribe to our Patreon to receive exclusive first early release access to the podcast, full-length video, ad-free, or just people who wanted to support our channel and our podcast and everything like that. So our newest subscriber, we got one this time. Russell, shout out Russell.
Hi Russell,
we
thank
love
you.
Russell. Yes, and shout out to everybody else who has subscribed. And if you want to get a shout out in the next episode, head over to our Patreon and subscribe.
All right, so let's jump right in and let's get into some Eurovision news. We're not really a news channel. We just going to bring up all the most important stuff so that everybody's on the same page, because maybe you're not super into news, maybe you don't follow all the analysis people. So we'll fill in the blanks, but we're not going to get too deep into it. But just the first bit of news is we have 34 countries that have confirmed. We have one new country out of those, which is Luxembourg, which of course we found out at Eurovision that was happening. So out of the 34 that we have, all the usual suspects, we have a few countries that have not confirmed, which is Australia, Armenia, Czechia, Hungary, Montenegro, Romania, Poland, and Turkey. So out of those, I think the only ones that right now I expect to come back, because I guess it's not like, you don't have to be public. You just have to have told the EBU that you plan to participate.
So the deadline was cut last week. So now anybody who's participating, the EBU knows, but we don't necessarily know yet. Hopefully they'll confirm everybody soon. They usually like shortly after make a post and confirm everybody who's participating, but we haven't gotten that yet. So, you know, we'll see.
Not yet. There's been tons of speculation. So I think we're going to see Armenia, Czechia, and Poland.
Yeah, I think so for sure. I think that Czechia every year is kind of like on the fence, but they got such a good result this year.
10th.
That, yeah, I think they have to come back after that. They're in their little resurgence era, and they did so amazing. So like I hope that they come back. I don't know why Hungary hasn't confirmed that they're not participating. I think it's pretty obvious they're not.
I think they don't care. They don't even care enough to say that they're not coming. Like they got the party invitation and they tossed it in the trash. Like they're not RSVPing to this shit. They're not doing it. They're not part of Europe right now, unfortunately.
Gay crap anymore.
It's sad, but it's true.
You know,
although, you know, the thing is with Czechia, though, I get your point about saying, you know, that they had a good result. So you would expect them to come back again. But it could also be the other way, that they had a good result and they want to leave it there. And, you know, they don't want to go out on a 28th place or something. So that could be possible. But I do think they're coming back. I do. Yeah,
I think there's enough passion just even within the delegation, everything. Like I see them continuing. I think they're the type that will like try their best to participate. They want to participate. It's just a matter of whether or not they can. But I feel like after following that good result, I feel like it's a good sign for them. I'm hoping. And I mean, Turkey's obviously not gonna come back.
No.
I don't know about Montenegro. Do we think there's a chance?
I don't know about Montenegro, really.
No.
I mean, if they come back, it's not like I'll be like shocked. If they say they're not coming back, I also won't be shocked.
Yeah.
So I mean, because Macedonia, I think, is back in.
Oh, yeah.
So I mean, it could be one of those things where maybe they decided to sneak in at the end. Maybe it's
Yeah.
one of these things where they have maybe they put in that they're interested, but when it comes down to it, they're not actually going to participate. Because I think there is like a bit of a window there between when you have to like actually finalize it that you're going to go. Well, I guess you could drop out at truly any point in the process. I don't expect Romania to come back unless they would like to do a little bit more money laundering, but I have a feeling with the amount that they did with the whatever 400,000 euros that that was probably the cash out, I think, of whatever scheme they were running. I will be surprised if Romania turns around and says they're going to do it. I do think they're out of the game.
Yeah. And Australia, you know, every year people are saying it's their last year. It's their last year. But I feel like this year I was hearing it so much, but I just really don't see it for them. I don't see them bowing out yet.
I forget where I heard it. I don't know if it was Eurovision Tom, but somebody was talking about Australia and the fact that, like, basically, if somebody is willing to put up the money, then they'll do it. So like Voyager, I think maybe wasn't Voyager putting up all the money, but like Western Australia, like their province put up the money. So it could be they need like an intelligent music project type thing.
They don't need that.
Well, they don't need that, but they need like a benefactor. They need like a rich person or an artist who's well established with a lot of funds. Well, I think she's a little bit canceled, maybe, but
well, yeah, but you know, she's got money. Right. I'll take her over nobody.
Right. No, that's true.
I mean, I feel like they at least have like a good pool of like big artists that do have some level of funding behind them to where there's the possibility of someone, you know. Whereas like maybe Montenegro, if their issue is money, they might not have as many artists that are like, you know, willing to put up that much. If Montenegro comes back, I want Andrea Demirovic. I'm just putting it out there.
Your wish list.
Yes, she was robbed the last time they were there. So is it just Macedonia that's returning, and then of course Luxembourg?
I think so. I think that's it. So everything else is just the people who participated this year. And then there were other people that I didn't even bother putting in the list because they were like people who haven't, like Kosovo, who haven't even been there for a long time. So like no one was expecting Kosovo to like announce that they're coming back.
Yeah, no, Kosovo coming back
or coming in.
yeah. You know, I'm excited for Luxembourg. I know that for sure. The last time they participated was 1993, and they brought some good songs, and they did really well in Eurovision back in the 90s, or not 90s. They didn't do well in the 90s, but they did back in that that time, the 1900s. They did well back then. The
original era.
Yes, the OGs. So I'm excited and interested to see what a country that hasn't participated in that long, what they do in current times. Because I don't think I've really had a country like that in my time following Eurovision that like returned. And we really haven't had that much at all. I mean, Monaco came back in the 2000s for was it Monaco for Andorra? Like a couple, or was it? And I think Monaco, maybe it was like 1 year. I don't know, you know, but we haven't really had that in a while. So I'm hoping they come back and slay.
Yeah, you know? I'm interested because like you said, it's been a long time. And it's Luxembourg. It's not like it's a country where we wouldn't really know exactly what to expect. Like, it's not like Turkey. Like, Turkey has a really big music scene. So we could kind of expect maybe what they could be sending. But with Luxembourg, like, I'm expecting maybe something Frenchy.
Yeah. I mean, it's really a wild card. Like, we could really get anything.
They could buy an artist from somewhere.
Yeah, because they're likely not going to be an artist from Luxembourg. I mean, I think that'd be really cool, but they didn't tend to send that. But even like, I mean, they used to get big art. They got 𝗥𝗶𝗆. I mean, they had them. So back in the day.
Yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to that one. Something I noticed though, when in like the past week, when people were really starting to talk about who's in and who's out, is that like there was a lot of people, literally just talking about like who's in and who's out, which I thought was totally normal. And then I started seeing like a lot of backlash and like people being like, why is everyone all of a sudden talking about who's in and who's out? It wasn't like this in previous years. Everyone's so worried. No one ever tried to come up with a cutesy like Super Saturday nickname for, confirmation day. And people like fans being like annoyed at other fans because we were talking so much about who's in and who's out. And to me, it was like, I'm just glad we're talking about Eurovision, folks. Like,
Yeah.
because also it wasn't fan wars. It wasn't who was the real winner of 2022. It was literally like looking to the future and something nobody can really fight about, also because we don't know the answer. So it was just fun and speculating and thinking about what it's gonna like, what is it gonna look like next year, which I thought personally was totally harmless.
Yeah.
Right?
That's totally normal behavior of a Eurofan. I mean, especially right now where it's slow news weeks, girl. Like, this is what we got to talk about. And it's fun to see, especially as you get closer to that date, like everybody starts confirming. Girl, tell me why Bulgaria, I still follow them on Twitter. Their Twitter's so messy. Like, they just were replying to people like, yeah. And they're just replying to people like, stop asking. Like, we're not coming back. Stop asking. I'm like, oh my God. I'm shocked they even got somebody still running that Twitter.
Like, I know it almost, I always thought that it wasn't a real like it was a real person, but it wasn't a delegation. Like a
fake account.
It always seemed like a fake account. And maybe it truly is just like a hardcore Eurofan, or the person who ran it, like they're not like getting paid to do it anymore, but they just do it because they like trolling or something. I don't know, but that is funny about the Bulgarian account, because they're not coming back, like at least not anytime soon.
I wish they would, but they were in such a resurgence though. I've been listening to Victoria, and like she's just been coming out. She's been coming out with a lot of singles and stuff, and even listening to her Eurovision music, I'm like, dang, like that was just, they should have ended on that. Like, it was just she was such a great representative, and she loved good. Eurovision.
She was actually my aunt's winner that year, because I watched it with my aunt, and my aunt loved that song. Yeah, I thought that was really funny.
Yeah.
So one of the reasons that I particularly was so interested in the who's in and who's out is because like I'm already thinking forward to like what are the semifinals going to look like, because if you have so like this year was what, 39, right? Is that right? 39 this year. So with that, it was like we were losing less than 10 from the semifinals.
It was 37 actually.
It was it 37? Okay, so it was 37. So but we were losing less than 10 from the semifinals. So you were losing a lot of songs, but you weren't losing too many songs. And I started thinking after this year, I was like, I'm not sure I want to see a 40+ country contest again, because you lose so many songs in the semifinals.
Yeah. But what's interesting about you saying that is I literally just scrolling through Twitter while I was on the bus on my way home to film this. So just like 2 hours ago or so, I saw somebody on Twitter and like a bunch of people liking it, that they were upset with the number being so low because they think it's not interesting when only like 4 or 5 people don't qualify. But I disagree 100%. I feel like it makes me way less stressed. I feel like it's like, more opportunity for, most of the people to go through, for your fave. At least you get one of your faves to go through, like, I don't know. I don't want to be stressed out like that. I don't want like to lose amazing entries just because there's so many people in a semi. Like, I don't want that.
Right. Also, we kind of got screwed this year with kind of like basically every song that came in the top 10 had been in the first semifinal. So it's like, I guess it does kind of reduce the chances of the semis getting weighed so heavily. But so I crunched some numbers, which is a phrase you'll like never hear me say because I am not good at math. But this was simple. This was plus, minus, and divide. Also, there was a lot of even numbers, so I actually did some of it mentally. Yeah, I'm so smart.
Slay, you ate that up.
You'll see how difficult this math is, too. Okay, so I kind of wanted to see like the range. So if the countries that we have so far are definitely competing and nobody else confirmed, and we're at 34, subtracting 6 for like the big 5 and Sweden, that would make 28 total semifinal songs, which would be semifinals of 14. So we would only lose 4 songs, which does seem a little
That seems
bit,
too low.
that seems
it almost
too
feels
low.
like the semifinals pointless at that point. You know what I mean?
Oh, that's what I thought. And I started looking into the past. And so they started doing semifinals in 2003. I started watching in 2004, but I didn't even start watching the semis until like 2016, maybe.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I really started as a local. Like I was watching finals. So I looked into it, and they started in 2003. And they did a relegation thing. So if you came in the top 10 in the previous year, you got automatic qualification, plus the big 4, later big 5, but the big 4 because Italy wasn't in. So that was 14 countries that would go directly to the final. And then everybody else did a semifinal. And those countries fought for 10 qualification spots. And then later on, and I didn't see how many were in that particular contest in 2003, but in 2004, there were 36 countries.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so they did a semifinal with 36, and that was with one single semifinal. So, but that was with the 10 like auto qualifiers from the previous year.
Yeah.
So if they were to do like, if we were at 36 or 34 even, right, which is what we're at now, like it actually very well could become a one semifinal show again.
Oh my God, that'd be crazy. But what I don't understand is I don't get, I mean, I don't think that we're going to end with this low of a number, but it is weird to me that there's so many countries like bowing out when it does feel like Eurovision is seeing a lot like of success. Like I feel like it's been seeing a huge resurgence, especially with artists like gaining success from Eurovision and everything. There seems to be way more of an incentive. The reputation of Eurovision has like grown significantly. I don't know if, I don't know. I don't really know why it seems like countries keep leaving. Maybe it's getting more too expensive. Like maybe it's getting more expensive because it's getting more high value or whatever, and you're expected to do more with your staging, with your promotions and everything. Maybe that's it, but I don't know.
I mean,
it's weird to me.
The countries that have been out, some of them have said that it's for financial reasons, but there's other ones where we know it's for political reasons.
Yeah.
So, and I know that like with the finances side, like there's been talk about whether or not they're going to change some things with the finances. I'm not going to get into that because I don't know enough, honestly, to talk about it. I don't really, I would like to find out more about how their like fee structure works, but I just never really looked into it because I'm not, like I said, I'm not really a numbers person.
If anybody knows about that stuff, if anybody's an expert and would like to come on and explain it to me, and like, because I agree, because at the same time, I'm also like, well, wait, so obviously like the big 5 puts the most money into it. So then everybody is like different, right? Like everybody puts a different amount in, or like.
So that's something that I want clarification on, because I feel like I always thought that it was that their participation fee was higher than everybody else. But then I remember hearing something or reading something that actually made it sound like it doesn't actually, it's the amount of money that they contribute to the EBU, not to Eurovision, which made it sound like if Germany said we're not competing in Eurovision, they're still paying all that money to the EBU, whether or not they do Eurovision.
Yeah.
And then I think they have like the same flat participation fee as everybody else. So, I mean, one of those things is right, probably.
Yeah, because I also like I mean, this is probably completely wrong. Like, I always thought that like the small, like they kind of had like a ranging fee so that smaller, like it wasn't unfair to the smaller, like more broke countries. Like, you know, I thought there was like stuff like the big five, because they put more money in, that kind of helps so that everybody can participate. That's what I always thought. So now I feel like everything I'm learning is now like a lie.
Well, and I don't, but the thing is I don't know. See, this is why we need an expert to come on
Yeah.
and tell us. But yeah, I think it's kind of one of those things like with like the EU, like certain countries contribute way more. Just generally speaking, they contribute way more. So I don't know, and I'm sure someone probably already in the live chat is schooling us and telling us what's actually true. So like and I guess the way to find out actually would be what happened with Italy, because they didn't participate for a chunk of time. So were they still contributing money to the EBU? Like, is that the money? Is the money that we're talking about a participation fee that they pay more of? Or is it their like flat EBU contribution that's like that? That, I guess, is the crux of it.
Yeah, because it is interesting too, because Italy, up until when they like rejoined, but there were so many years where the big four existed, and then they just automatically like, hey, okay, now it's five. Like I need, yeah, I will look into it more,
and I
that's
think
definitely
we're gonna hear more
questions
about it. We're going to hear more about the finances stuff, I think, too, because we're going to start hearing stuff about the participation fees and all that. So we'll keep our eyes on that.
Yeah.
But like, so best case scenario, well, okay, Turkey and Hungary aren't coming back. So 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39. So best case scenario is we get 40 countries. I think we're going to be at 37 personally, because I see Armenia, Czechia, and Poland coming back. So I think the 34 plus the 3 to 37, which would give us 15 and 16 semifinals.
Yeah. I'm sad because the last time we had the highest amount of participants was when Sweden hosted. I just really thought SVT was going to be able to like work their magic and like get people in. And I mean, I know there's a million reasons why, like, you know, people don't participate, but I was like, damn, when they announced Luxembourg, I was like, oh, we're fixing to get 43.
Unfortunately,
Bosnia and Herzegovina is back. You know, like I really thought, like
I think also, you know, it was such a surprise to hear that Luxembourg was coming back that it did add a little bit of like, ooh, who else is going to come back? And then it's like, actually, a bunch of people are going to withdraw.
Yeah. Yeah. But, you know, at least Portugal's here.
Yes. Yes.
Because they usually bow out during Sweden. So.
Yeah. So I think it'll be interesting to see how many we get, whether or not we do 2 semifinals. I don't think that I don't know if they could even do the relegation scheme again. I don't think that would, especially because that's not what they agreed to last year.
No,
unless they said to everybody this year, if you're participating, we're going to do like, I don't think that's going to happen. I think we'll have 2 regardless.
Yes, I think that we'll have 2 regardless. I think that if it continues to go down or remain like this low, then maybe they'll consider it in future years. But for right now, I think we're still like fine. And I don't think we're going to get down to 34. Like I think I imagine there will be some Armenia's not dropping. I don't know why they would.
I don't think Armenia would drop out.
They
had such a good result too.
Yeah. And I don't see why they would. So I'm excited still regardless, you know.
And the confirmations isn't the only news we have. We actually had an artist announcement because Belgium decided to announce an artist super early, which is great. I mean, it kind of gives a weird amount of time between like here, like who was it last year? 𝗏𝗏, right?
It was Noah, but she was during the summer. It was basically right after Eurovision ended. They were like, all right, guys. Well, they had announced her before she confirmed. like
imagine if BBC would have done that with Rina.
Oh my God, I wish they would have.
Although I guess because she was interested. She made it sound like that.
Yeah, I like the idea of her just being at home and being like, hold on, wait a second. I'm doing what? It's like maybe her team was like, oh yeah, she'll do it. And then, but she hadn't signed the contract yet. Like, I don't know what went down with that, but that was funny. But I mean, compared to last year, it took a while for us to get a person.
Yeah, well, and I was just really surprised to get this out of Belgium because like they did like that whole ass TV show last year. I guess maybe they decided like, well, that was way too much trouble than it was worth. Because or if maybe this was the plan all along, was to do one season and then do an internal because it was so fast.
Well, I know with Belgium, I believe it's Belgium because they're like broadcasters, they switch.
You're right.
So it's from the Dutch one,
it was the Flemish
French
broadcaster last year, and that will be the Wallonian broadcaster.
Yeah,
that's what it is. Right.
So I don't think it was ever destined to continue because of that.
Right.
But I'm hoping next year they bring back the national selection because I mean, I don't think I actually really care, to be honest, but either way, I actually love Belgium's internals too. So
I really liked the show. It reminded me of So Much Better, the Swedish. I'm not going to even attempt to say it in Swedish. Looks like so 𝗥𝗶𝗆. I don't know. Where it's like where you have like a cast of artists, and then like it's an episode where like they highlight an artist and everyone else sings their songs.
Loreen was on it recently. �奧𝗍𝗆, one of my favorite Swedish artists who I got to see live in Pittsburgh. I never thought I would get to see her live. I freaked out. And Benjamin Ingrosso was on it. I know because I listened to, oh my God, Loreen's cover of Alice. So good.
There was a season that I watched that had, damn it, now I'm forgetting their names. They're two girls. They're like two pop girlies. I crashed my car into the bridge. I don't care.
𝗠𝘅𝘅𝘆.
𝗠𝘅𝘅𝘆, yes. I watched their season. They were on that. But like tons of countries have that show. But that was kind of what that reminded me of. Because it was like the ensemble cast. And I love that. I love reality shows and I love like creative reality. So I thought that show was really cool. I would like to see more stuff like that. Personally, I like smaller national selections where you do have like 10 artists as opposed to like 50 artists that goes 5 days or multiple weeks. Like, I don't know. I like the kind of like tighter packages for national finals.
I agree. But I like the way they did it. Like they did a presentation and then they did the live show. And it was actually very unexpected because of that. Like it kind of got hyped. And then of course they ended up getting a really great result because of it. So
yeah, I mean, it worked. It worked. Okay. I know absolutely nothing about 𝗪𝗍 though. Do you know anything?
I don't know much apart from him being he was a permanent judge for the whole season. He wasn't the main judge. There was it was Rita Baga was the main judge, who's actually, she's not even from Belgium. She's from Canada. She's from Quebec. And it's kind of weird. Listen, okay, as a Drag Race fan, this is I'm just ranting for a sec. Vanessa Van Cartier is the winner. She was the winner of Drag Race Holland, and she's from Belgium. She was a Miss Continental. She should have been the host. I don't know why they picked Rita Baga. She's not from Belgium. The only relation is that she's French Canadian, so she speaks French, but she's not related in any way to Belgium. So I don't know why they picked her. And Vanessa Van Cartier, she would have been the first trans main host. It would have been so great, but whatever, it's fine. I don't know. She might not speak French, and they just might have wanted it to be French, and she's maybe from the Dutch speaking part because she was on Holland.
No, I think if you're Belgian, whether or not you're from the Dutch side or the Flemish or the French side, I think like at least every Flemish person I ever knew also spoke French. They always spoke Dutch, French, and English, and then usually German, and then probably another language that they just picked up somewhere along the way. Because once you know 3 languages, you can just pick up pretty much every other language. But
yeah, the only Belgian I really know, I mean, my sister lives in Belgium, but her boyfriend is not from Belgium. He's from the Netherlands, so he speaks Dutch. Yeah. But he was a main judge. I didn't fully watch Drag Race Belgium. I never finished it, but I did watch a couple of episodes. He wasn't that interesting, I'll say. Like enough to say he didn't have like moments. But I'm like so excited to hopefully interview him. Just because I want to grill him about drag race and drag. I think it'll be so much fun. Maybe get my invite onto the show if I can't get on the US show. I mean, I don't know if it got canceled after one season or what, but I'm, hey, get me on there. I don't speak nothing, but I'll be there in spirit. But I basically listened to his entire discography. And he does make some really good music. I think pretty much we can like confirm he will like almost definitely have a ballad because he has almost no bops. Like, so I didn't save that many songs because y'all know I'm a bop kind of like girly, but I really liked like his song Give Me a Hand, After Dark, Skyline. I mean, he does some beautiful, epic ballads and he can get really dark and emotional. So I think that that's what we can like expect from him, something very artistic as well. I think who is it that everybody loves from Belgium? 2015. What's it? Listen to rhythm. Listen to this. What's his name?
Oh, are you talking about
And
Loic
if we
Notet?
die.
Yes. Oh, is he kind of like that?
I see him being in that vibe, very artsy, very like epic. I can see it. Like, hopefully I don't fumble it because I mean he's giving like he could do a real big performance.
Rhythm Inside is actually one of my favorite Eurovision songs like ever.
Yeah.
Like the whole package with the performance and everything. Like whenever I show people Eurovision, like there's a few songs that I always show, and Rhythm Inside is actually one of them, just because I feel like it's like the most it's like it's accessible, but it's also a little bit like artsy. So it can cut and it's just like very, I don't know, there's something that's so like novel about that particular song that it doesn't really like remind anyone of anything else. Really, like no one's ever like, oh, that reminds me of this other artist. Like it really just is very much like its own thing. I love that song. Whenever I do like the ESC 250, oh, he was amazing. That song was absolutely incredible. I should check out his music. But yeah, I'm not a ballad person either, really.
No, I mean, it's not gonna be like, it's definitely not gonna be like 𝗥𝗶𝘆 vibes. I feel like when people hear that he's a judge on Drag Race, maybe they expect, that kind of vibe. But no, I don't think at all. It's very opposite.
All right, so let's move on and talk about my second home country, Poland, and the absolute mess that they have gone and created yet again for themselves. TVP just can't help themselves from being awful and weird and potentially corrupt. So did you watch TVP's 𝗪𝗪𝘅𝘆 𝗥𝗶𝗵 in Sandomierz?
I have no idea what you're talking about with this one.
Okay, I wonder how many people watching too are like, what the hell is she talking about?
This is.
Okay, so Poland, the Polish broadcaster TVP, who everybody knows for robbing Elena and her incredible song Booty of its chance to go to Eurovision.
Exactly.
Never forgive, never forget. So the Polish broadcaster decided that they were going to make a mini Eurovision. Of course, this was not connected to Eurovision in any way. They had no rights to like the visual identity of Eurovision. They weren't using them little heart things or nothing. It was fully like a original TV program. Concept-wise, great. It had 9 countries participating. We had Czech Republic, Moldova, Belarus, Slovakia, Hungary, Latvia, Poland, stick a pin in that, Lithuania, and Estonia. So literally it was like Baltic Slavic vision, which was cool. Everybody sang.
Turk vision.
like 𝗥𝗏𝘅𝘆, yeah, but this was very much like Baltic Slav vision.
Mm-hmm.
And like I was for that. Everybody seemed to sing in their native language, so that was cool, you know, just like see Hungarian songs. There was a couple Eurovision alumni in this show because it was made for TV. It was like an outdoor concert venue. It looked bitchin'. I'm telling you, like there were tons of people there. It was in this place called 𝗤𝗏𝘅𝘆, which is like a kind of a smaller city. It's well known because of like the Pope used to live there, I think. But it's like a nice provincial city. It's nice. And it looked like they were like next to the castle or whatever. Big crowd, huge crowd, nice big music festival. Polish people love their music festivals. They love their parties. They do. They love it. So they invited all these countries. So I'll say the names of the artists, I guess. Helena Vondratskova from Czech, Aliona Moon from Moldova. We know her, icon. Navi Band from Belarus.
Crazy.
Yeah. Of course, Belarus not even in Eurovision anymore.
Yeah.
Neither is Hungary, and 𝗏𝗏𝗆 sang for them.
That's crazy, 𝗏𝗏𝗆. I didn't know she was still doing music.
At least she's going to Poland for 𝗫𝗍𝗄 Europy.
Yeah.
And then we had 𝗫𝗍 from Slovakia. From Latvia, we had 𝗫𝗍𝗆𝗁𝗍, Monika Linkytė from Lithuania, and 𝗥𝗏𝗆 from Estonia. I mean,
what? Like, damn, where'd they find the time to do this?
It was stacked. Okay. Oh, and of course, I forgot Dominik Dudek from Poland, who had been in the national selection. He's like a big star in Poland. He's all over.
He was in the national selection this last year? Or before?
I think this year. Oh. I'll double check, but I'm pretty
must not have stuck out in my mind.
I'm pretty sure he did have a song this year.
I don't know. I didn't like follow.
He had a song called Be Good. He wore like a little beanie. It was like a guitar.
I see.
Yeah, like acoustic guitar thing.
Well, it flopped for me, I guess.
You know what? It was a flop. It was a flop. I mean, like there were other people who were obviously Elena was way more memorable than him. So he had a song too. So, okay. If we just were saying it was just like a concert for TV, hell yeah. I'm behind it 110%. Like great songs, artists we know. They also, there were some cool things.
Were they original songs?
There were some original songs, but there were also cover songs. So like Aliona Moon sang Ďaďosta Dinte by Ozone.
What?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, it was cool. Like it was a sick concert.
I'm gonna have to watch these.
You should find the performances. Like some of them were really nice. So up until the point that the performances end, I'm like feeling it. And then I realized that there's voting. And the voting is only open for people in Poland. And you can vote for Dominik Dudek. And so as soon as I realized that, I was like, do I bother watching to the end? Because obviously Dominik Dudek's going to win. Like, if Poland's voting, if only Poland is voting, and there's a reason you can't vote for your own country in Eurovision. Like, this is the fucking reason that you can't do that. Because Dominik Dudek won. And not only did Dominik Dudek win, we never saw any other artist again. So it wasn't like they brought everybody back and they did a votes reveal.
Oh my God.
They literally were just like, okay, and now we're going to announce our winner. It's Dominik Dudek. Here's your flowers. And it's just like, you gotta be, you got TVP, can you not rig a single fucking contest that you organize?
Oh my God.
Like, can you please?
Maybe this is their national selection for next year.
It was their national selection this year, goddammit. I mean, like, if they're gonna keep picking their winners like this. Also, how rude to bring all these artists, like, just don't
Yeah.
even, like, you can do two things. Just make it a fucking concert and have everybody sing their songs, or make it a contest, and Dominic Dudek is a interval act that you don't vote for.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
he's
No,
part of the
exactly.
contest, but you just can't vote for Dominic Dudek. You can vote for everybody else, but you can't vote for Dominic Dudek.
Mhm.
You know, like, he's an exhibitor. He should have been an exhibitor. Like, how can you
Yeah.
run a like, did he have was he actually supposed to be the one that won the national selection this year? And his agent
That
was
would be
like,
what a turn.
we're gonna
if even
expose
Blanca
you.
wasn't supposed to win.
Imagine. And okay, now this is zero facts and evidence involved here in this speculation, folks.
Allegedly.
Imagine the alternate universe where Dominic Dudek was in an explicit deal with TVP that they were going to rig the national final for him. And then that psycho, whoever the hell that judge was, who was that judge? I want to say it was Annie Lorak, but I know it wasn't Annie Lorak. I'm trying to remember the name of the singer who was on the jury. I don't remember, because it was some singer who worked with Blanca, and then it was like her choreographer.
Oh, it was 𝗫𝗀𝘆𝘆.
I don't remember who they were, but I remember they were all connected.
Wait, not 𝗫𝗀𝘆𝘆. Oh, no, my God. Edita Gorniak.
Edita Gorniak.
Why did I say 𝗫𝗀𝘆𝘆? Not me throwing her into it.
Edita Gorniak. Yeah, that's right. That's who it was. That's why I was thinking Ani Lorak, because it's Lorak Gorniak. The endings are the same on those last names. So wouldn't that be hilarious, though, if the judges conspired to actually give it to Blanca? And here's Eurofans being like, Jan got robbed. And actually, Dominic Dudek is sitting there like, no, like, Dominic Dudek got robbed. I got robbed. God. And then they put together this whole thing just so that he could finally win a contest. Wouldn't that be so funny? I'm sure that's not true, and that's not what happened. And they rigged this for him, and they rigged that for Blanca.
I wouldn't put it past them to do any of this.
Oh man, they're tricky. You can't trust them. I'm just saying. I'm Polish, for anybody who doesn't know. So I am allowed to say that. Yeah, it was such a shit show. I was so disappointed. I was literally like screaming at my TV the moment I realized that it was just a farce. It was so stupid.
That's hilarious.
The show was great. The premise was so stupid and transparent and dumb, and like, even Polish people were like, "Ugh, like, you've got to be kidding me."
You know, it's interesting because there have been competitions like this, like in the US there was the World's Best, and it was kind of like attempting to be something like Eurovision, but it wasn't. But it was like it was more of like America's Got Talent or whatever, but it was for the whole world. And Danilia Tulashova, who was in Junior Eurovision for Kazakhstan, actually competed in it. And she went really far. RuPaul was the host. I
don't know anything about this. What?
It was a 1-season thing. I feel like they're trying to do all these talent shows every single year. Literally. Yeah. Every year there's a million of these random like talent show things. I don't know. America loves those talent shows, but like, you know, it was interesting because in that, I don't know who ended up winning that, but you know, it is interesting to do something because it was only Americans voting, as far as I'm aware. It was just an American TV show. So I don't know. But hey, hopefully, you know, the artists didn't have to put too much into doing that.
Well, I'm guessing that they got paid.
Yeah.
That this was a gig. Like, this was a paid TV gig. Like, it's,
yeah,
because they were all established. I'm sure they got paid for it. Maybe not a lot, but I'm sure they wouldn't. I'd be shocked if they did it for nothing.
Yeah. Well, I think that actually Eurovision and the EBU needs to get in contact with TVP, because clearly they can figure something out, how to get Hungary back, I don't think we want Belarus back.
The reason that they're able to
if we want to get those numbers up.
Poland and Hungary have a really long history, like centuries of history together. So they and they both have really right-wing governments right now, and that might have had something to do with it. That too, that this wasn't really like a European thing. This was like a kind of a Slavic thing.
Well, we just want Katie Wolf back. What about my dreams of Katie Wolf returning?
Won't Viktor Orban think of Maxxy Rainbow's needs?
That's what I'm saying. Please.
All
Oh,
right.
gosh.
So speaking of prior artists,
Yeah.
let's talk a bit about what all of this crazy class of 2023 has been up to, because I'm telling you what, you guys, they have been at it non-stop since this concert or since Eurovision ended. Like, and I don't know in previous years, because it's not like I tracked this stuff really. Like, I would look out for when artists did introduce new stuff, but I was making this list, you guys. Almost every single artist has released something new. Like, I should have made a list of the people who didn't release something new, because it would have been shorter. Like, I think it's like
honestly,
𝗫𝗏 X hasn't released anything new. Theodore Andre hasn't released anything new, if you don't count his Eurovision medleys that he did of other people's songs.
Yeah, but he did release that album, but it wasn't after Eurovision.
It wasn't. I didn't.
I was listening
anything.
to it. Oh, it was so good though. That song, like Arrogant or whatever.
He just put a music video out for that.
Yeah, because I just saw that and I thought it was a new song. I mean, this is a bop, but
no,
hey,
old song, new
that.
video. So
yeah,
let's just go through this list and talk about these songs.
Yes.
I think we've both listened to all of them. I will put
for the most part. I have. Yeah, I
but
tried.
for the most part. For the most part. So
I scrolled through every single one.
I made a playlist on Spotify, so we'll include that in the show notes so that you can go and you can keep track of this playlist. I will update it with other songs that get released by the 2023 artists if you want to keep track of the new music that's being released by them. I know it's really hard to like keep tabs on all that stuff after the contest too, especially because you kind of like, I don't know, you move on.
Yeah.
But like these people are still creating music, and I'll tell you what, some of these songs are better than the Eurovision songs that they sent. So at least in my opinion. So we'll start with the most recent song. Pete Jacks just released a song called Color Shades.
So good.
So good. So good. It's just like a really just like pure indie rock, nice song. It's very typical kind of for them, for like their most recent album. It has Pete Jacks all over it. And I really liked their last album, Synchronizr. So I was really happy to see that this song was like they're not changing, but you can see that they're still like developing too. So that's really nice. I was excited for this one.
Yeah, I loved it. And you know, it does beg the question, like, what were they thinking with the song they sent to Eurovision? Because like every other song they've released
has been better. Even Sunflower, which they released. Oh my God, if they would have sent Sunflower, like they could have probably qualified over Joker Out if they'd sent Sunflower, because Sunflower was catchy as hell.
Yeah.
That was a good song. But I love the song that I put. I didn't get a chance to watch the video yet. They have normally really good music videos.
Yeah, I was gonna say I've only seen like what they've been teasing on social media, and it looks like, you know, their typical cool artistic self.
Artistic, right? Because they're very like artistic. Like you can tell they get influence from like all kinds of places.
Yes.
So another song,
I think the most hyped of all the artists.
By far the most hype. And I would actually say from the amount of hype, that it was overhyped potentially a little bit. I know. I think it might have been overhyped, maybe because I am balls deep in 𝗫𝗏𝗄 Twitter. So like I was really like inundated, like 24/7, like literally weeks were going by where anybody was talking about was like analyzing the littlest pieces of the teasers and the Instagram stories we were seeing that they were making on set, and everybody, like people were like, truly, it was getting into the fan fiction territory.
See, I'm not really in there. I'm more of just like on his social media, hit what he posts and stuff. So I mean, I think it's very, I almost find myself when I'm listening to it, singing it, like, I'm like, oh, cha-cha-cha, it's the same as cha-cha-cha, low key. Like, if you sing cha-cha-cha with it, it works perfectly. Kind of like the
Especially that
same formatting.
the first
The
like
first
the first third of the song. But I
before Tommy
wonder
Cash comes in,
if
yeah.
that's a little bit intentional. Like, you know how
I think
sometimes
so.
like albums will do that too, where like they'll maybe a song will like end somewhere and then the next song kind of like picks, like it continues the
Yeah.
story. I feel like it kind of
'Cause
continues the story.
yeah, because I mean it's literally a reference to cha-cha-cha. I mean, it's
Yeah.
what he said to describe the song. It's just I think it's a great hype song, honestly. It's just that 𝗥𝗶𝗄 energy. And I don't know those lyrics specifically, but I know when Tommy Cash comes in, it gets so vulgar. And I was like kind of shocked.
Okay, so there was at first they had done like this live a live performance of it at this big Olympic Stadium concert with like he opened up for like a massive finisher, 𝗥𝗏𝗄. And so we had like this live performance and just trying to figure out what the lyrics were. And then 𝗥𝗏𝗄 had performed it on his own a bunch of times at concerts, and he would do the part in English. And it was like when we sing cha-cha-cha, we're like, maybe some of the words we're getting it right, but the rest of it is just kind of gibberish. So he was doing a lot of that. So people were like, what actually are the lyrics of this song? And the Tommy Cash part is, I just like her ass and titties make a trick on my dick.
So, oh, that's better than what I thought it was. I thought it was about he said something about make it drip on my dick. And I was like, holy shit.
That would be better, actually. Yeah, actually. Maybe you should be a
Add me as a
songwriter,
co-writer.
Maxxy. Yeah, yeah. That's even that's great.
That's what I've been singing when I sing.
That's kind of the beauty of it, though. And like 𝗥𝗏𝗄 had been doing this too, where it's sort of like you can kind of make up your own lyrics to that part. I think, like if you feel like it, like whatever, like it's crazy, it's party. Just do it.
Exactly. I've been listening to it nonstop when I like walk to and from work, and I'm like strutting, and it's just like hyping me up for my day. So it's great for that.
The day it came out, I listened to it my entire commute in, and it was kind of funny because I woke up in the morning, filmed a reaction video to it, and then it's uploading on my computer as I'm driving into work. I'm listening to the song on repeat on my way in for like 20 minutes. And then I get to work and I look at my phone and I have an email from YouTube telling me that my video has been copyrighted and it is not visible anywhere in the world. And normally it's like, it's copyrighted, but you just can't monetize it. Or it's copyrighted and you can't monetize it and you can't watch the video in Russia.
Yeah,
but
and
this was like,
we don't want those anyways.
Nobody can watch the video. Nobody at all. It's completely. And I noticed other people have like chopped up their video. And tell you what, I am just too lazy for that. And I have moved on with my life. And maybe I'll do it, but I don't know. But I've been enjoying the song. I think it's cool. I want to see what he's gonna do though on his own, because I really like his solo music. And now he's like, and a lot of his other music is like about his life and shit that he's gone through. So it's like he's gone through a lot since that album, because that album came out in 2020. So he's had highs and he's had lows since then. And then probably some more highs and some more lows in between. And I can't wait to see what he does with that, like with an actual album of like new music, like written from the heart. Like I'm sure he's been very creative.
Yeah, I'm excited too, because I will say I've listened to a lot of his other stuff, but I haven't saved so much of it. The only one I really know that I know is like the one where it's like you know that one?
Oh yeah. Yeah, I know which I'm trying to think of what the title is, but it's obviously in Finnish. My word recall is not that great. Yeah,
but I'm excited.
Yeah, I'm excited. Love him. A song that I really love is from 𝗵𝗍𝗄𝗧. She's put out 2 songs since Eurovision. The one that I love is called Loop. This is a hell of a good pop song. Oh my God. It's
Yes.
got like this real, it's got attitude. It's got this great kind of like guitar riff in it. It's just a little bit angsty, but it's also just like a little bit empowering. That's a good song. I bop to that song big time.
Yeah. It makes me wish she went solo to Eurovision.
You know,
Just
I did like the song, but I can see that she
I
was
did too. Yeah.
a lot more, she had a lot more to offer than what she was able to give us with that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then she has another song called Dream Go, which is nice. It's like, for me, it's like very like something you'd hear in a coffee shop or like a little boutique store that sells $400 overalls.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I did add Loop to my work playlist. But
Loop, that's
not
also a good retail song for sure.
Because yeah, it's fun. It's fun.
Yeah, it's fun. It's cute. So someone else who's fun and cute, Luke Black.
Yes. He's also happy.
He's also happy. He's so happy. So Luke Black put out a song called I'm So Happy, which is really cool. I like that it feels a little bit sarcastic. I haven't seen the video yet though. And there is a video.
No, and he said it's his first music video.
And he's like a very visual guy. Like,
yeah.
So I need to check out the video actually, because I'm sure it is really good.
But it's great. I love it.
The song is totally great. It's just like nice dark pop. And it's nice to hear him singing in English. And I know that like some people that's always controversial for some people when you say that, but I loved 𝗵𝗇𝗆, but I didn't understand every word of that song. And when I understood I could understand all the words of this song. So like from the first listen, it was like I could get it. So I really like this one a lot.
Yeah.
𝗥𝗶𝗆, who we mentioned before, she put out a song called 𝗤𝗏𝗆. It's in Estonian. It's
yes, but it's the Estonian version, right?
So lucky.
No. It's what is it? Too much.
Is that what the English version is called? Too much?
Yeah, I guess it's the one that goes na na na
yeah,
right?
Yeah, the one she played at the Nordic party.
Yeah, I guess I'm a bit too much. I've been listening to the English version. I have also been listening to the Estonian version like non-stop. Me and you, we got to see a little preview before it got released at the Nordic party. She performed it there.
So
and
good.
I was living because I'm a Bon Appetit kind of girl, which is a song by 𝗥𝗏𝗆. It's like one of my favorite songs ever. And I don't think she performed that, unfortunately, but I was so hyped that she brought out another bop because she's such a good bop, like girl. Like she just, it's so catchy. It's so good. I just did a TikTok to it actually today. But it's just na. It's so like it was actually a great song, even if you've never heard it before. Like she sung it was unreleased, but you could easily like start singing along, get hyped up. It's one of those like really good songs. It's so good. It's one of my favorite ones that out of all these people that has been released. I
agree. And even beyond just like the personal experience of the first time hearing it, I think I would have the same reaction. But even at the time, I was like, because I wasn't a fan of Bridges at all. It's just not it's not my type of song. She's great. I never had any problem with her. I just didn't care for the song that much. And then she got on stage and then she sang, I guess it was Too Much because I think she did the English version there. And I was like, damn girl, like why didn't you send this song? But knowing Estonians, they wouldn't have picked it. Because they never pick good songs. But yeah, I love it. I think it is one of the better ones. So like I'm totally obsessed with Loop and I'm obsessed with Too Much. I should listen to the English version again because actually since the party I've only listened to the Estonian version, which is really good.
Yeah, the Estonian version is really good. I don't know because Andreas Puhm, who is in 𝗥𝗏𝗆, like same year as 𝗥𝗏𝗆, he also like came out with a new song, and I love that they both came out with their songs in English and Estonian. So you could just pick whichever one. you know, you
Or
want.
both, because
Whenever
sometimes
you're feeling
like,
bored of the English version, switch over to the Estonian version and vice versa.
because sometimes when people do that, like the lyrics, it's not like it's like a one-to-one translation. Like sometimes they write a completely
Yeah.
different song. Like it's the same music, the tune is the same,
Mhm.
but the words are and the meaning are different. So you actually can get two songs out of
Yeah.
them sometimes. Okay, so
Yes.
another lovely lady,
Queen.
𝗲𝗍𝗆. She's about to put out a whole album, actually,
Yeah, I'm
at the end of the month.
excited.
I actually ordered, she's got a t-shirt as part of her merch that says Eurovision bitch, and I've ordered it. So I am really waiting for my Eurovision bitch t-shirt to come. I will definitely be wearing it on the pod.
Yes, and I don't have the money to buy it, but if anybody would like to, they can send me however
Become a
much it costs.
patron so that we can buy 𝗲𝗍𝘆 merch.
So I can afford new clothes, please. Please.
You don't have any clothes. You don't have anything to wear, I'm sure.
Exactly.
Nothing in your closet, completely bare.
No, yeah.
So I can't wait to hear this album because there's 3 songs that have been released off of the album. We've got Me, Myself, and I, Maybe That's Just Life, and Written by a Woman. All 3 of these songs are totally different from each other.
Yeah.
So like Me, Myself, and I is kind of like a fun girl bop, kind of like gives me sort of like old Lily Allen vibes. Like that's the kind of not necessarily, it doesn't necessarily sound like Lily Allen, but I feel like how I felt when I was 16.
That attitude.
The attitude. Maybe That's Just Life, which is a little bit more like guitar, stripped back, emotional. And then there's Written by a Woman, which is a little bit more towards like the R&B side, which was kind of cool. It's kind of cool to listen to the 3 songs together because you see a lot of range between the 3. So I think the album is going to be fabulous based on that.
Yeah, I'm hyped. I mean, Me, Myself, and I has been on repeat because I don't need to try. Like, it's so good. 𝗥𝗶𝗆. Oh,
I love that
yes.
she sings with her accent because I noticed that a lot with British singers that
Yeah.
they don't like have a perceptible accent. But she's got a strong accent when she talks too, so it's
yeah. Oh my God,
surprise.
I'm so excited. This album, it's the one I'm most hyped up for out of anybody.
Yeah,
personally.
it's gonna be amazing, and I think this is one of those things where it's like she did it right and got lucky. Like she did good things and she got lucky with being approached for Eurovision. Because obviously like this album was probably 95% done before she got approached for Eurovision. Like it's a long process to begin. So you don't just put out an album in 3 months. Like these are it could have been 2 years in the making this thing.
Oh yeah.
So to like she also who did she tour with? Why am I forgetting? Girls Aloud? Who the fuck she toured with? She toured with some girl group. I forget which one. So she did that, and then she did Eurovision. Obviously, got introduced to the world, and now she's dropping an album. Like, oh come on! Like that is such a good like career trajectory. Like in 5 years, 𝗲𝗆𝘆's going to be one of those people. I think that's like coming over here across the pond to play concerts for us.
Oh yeah. Oh, 100%.
At least I hope so. I hope that for her because she
deserves it. Yeah, and she has to hold up her end of the bargain, which was taking me into the studio and working on my Eurovision song. So
that's right.
I didn't forget.
You did talk about that writing a song. Okay, so next group, Sudden Lights. I put these in literally no order. I just went down like a random list of artist countries. There's their order. So Sudden Lights from Latvia. They've put out 2 songs, 𝗫𝗆 𝗆𝗏𝗄𝗆 and 𝗵𝗄 𝗵𝗆. I thought these songs were cool. They're like lo-fi indie, which was something that I was really into when I was like younger, like in my 20s. And I like it. It's not the type of stuff that I'd put on like constant repeat. I would definitely have to be in the mood to listen to Sudden Lights. They're a very moody type of a band.
Yeah, I put one of these songs, I don't remember which one, on my like work playlist, my non-English one, because it's a nice vibe, whatever. They're good.
They're
It's
great.
just I am like a bop, I'm a bop kind of girl. So,
Yeah.
and like speaking of a bop girl.
Oh, do we have a bop girl next? We've got Alessandra from Norway. I didn't know actually about Bad Bitch. I guess this song just
It
came
just
out.
came out. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
because I knew Pretty Devil because she had been kind of teasing that one a little bit, like on TikTok and whatnot.
Yeah, she just
Um,
kind of started really being heavy with the Bad Bitch one on TikTok now.
yeah, I feel like they're kind of similar to each other. And
Yeah.
sort of similar to Queen of Kings. I mean, like it's like very typical, like girl empowerment pop, like
Yeah.
which obviously is right up our alley.
Oh
So
yeah. It
like
does they do feel a little like created for TikTok to me. But
yeah, it's yeah, especially Pretty
especially Pretty
Devil.
Devil to me. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, I
Like
thought
it
that
feels like it's for that snippet that they
exactly because
shared.
when the snippet came out, it was like I feel like I heard the song already. Like and
Yeah.
that like
But
but that's how the industry works now. So like and she kind of went viral with Queen of Kings thanks to Eurovania potentially.
yeah, that's insane. That's insane. I mean,
Um
hey, I'm glad that she's releasing stuff because it can be, you can have somebody like Chanel. Chanel went, I mean, not as viral as Alessandra, of course, but
mhm.
Chanel was going viral like here in the US. A lot of people were seeing her, and she took way too long to release any singles, and she just fell off, like, and that sucks. And Alessandra is smart to be releasing music like so soon after already having two singles out. That's pretty good because like when you're a new artist and you're like you have no music out other than your Eurovision one, it's very, very easy to be very quickly forgotten, even if you're the one that went viral that year. So I think this is smart, and they're a similar vibe, so they're going to take that audience that she just got. We know they like that stuff, and keep it rolling. Hopefully, hey, I mean, at this point, two songs like pretty like back to back. Maybe an album on the way.
Maybe. And
Maybe.
I think it's fine too that they're kind of like in the same vein because if that's the type of artist she is, like if that's the type of music she makes, like if she's being true to
Yeah.
herself by doing kind of like fun, like girl, like it's music for girls and it's music for girls and gays. That's what she's doing. She's doing music for the girls and the
Yeah.
gays. And like
She knows what she's doing.
I support her in that. And also she's fucking Norwegian. So it sounds like Norwegian pop, like which all sounds like Swedish pop. So
yeah.
I mean it is what it is. And I like it. And I like it. You don't have to be an innovator, I guess is what I'm trying to say. You don't have to be an innovator. You just have to make music. You just have to put out songs. You just have to keep people listening to you. That's all.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead. What you gonna say?
No, I have nothing to say.
Okay. This next song I think is the best one on the entire list. My jaw dropped when I listened to it. It's called I Can't Stop by 𝗲𝘅𝘅𝘅. Holy shit. When I listened to
listen to this one.
Oh, Maxxy Rainbow. You have to listen to this song.
I'm so embarrassed. I thought I listened to all the ones on the list.
And you missed the best one.
That's so embarrassing.
It's so good. Literally, it's so good. It's like, and again, this is one where I'm like, damn, like this is better than the Eurovision song. Like, why didn't they send this one to Eurovision? Not that they had a bad result. They did. They got a good result. And I liked Heart of Steel. But this song, oh my, I got McDonald's on my way home from work today. And this song was playing while I was in the drive-through line. And I was rocking out to the song because the line wasn't moving at all. And I was probably making the dumbest face ever. Like it was probably something like I was like doing one of these. I was like,
oh my God.
This person came out and is like holding their milkshake and just staring at me, going like in the front seat of my car.
They didn't get the vibe. They didn't get the vibe.
They were just like, what's she doing? And like, is she okay? Like, she need help.
Oh my God.
It's like, no, just rocking out to 𝗲𝘅𝘅𝘅. It's absolutely fine, ma'am. Yeah, this song is a banger. I mean, it's ridiculously good. It's absurdly good. Like, it is actually maybe it's good they didn't send it to Eurovision because it's like too good for Eurovision. Like, this song fucking rules.
Whoa.
I'm serious. I'm serious. You need to, as soon as we get off the call, you need to listen
I'm
to it
gonna.
because it's amazing.
That's crazy.
Do you remember the remix that they did? And it had a video, and it was like people like walking in circles and some kind of weird. It has that kind of a sound to it.
Oh, I don't know if I'll like it. I'm gonna like, I don't know if I love that kind of music.
Well, listen to it and let me know. I love this one. This one,
because I mean, I thought that remix was better than their song, but I also had Heart of Steel as my last place for a while.
Oh, that's right. That's right. You didn't like that one.
So like, it was like, you know,
it was like better, but not good enough because you already did.
Yeah.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
I see what you mean. So maybe you won't like it then, but I absolutely loved it.
I'll definitely listen to it. Oh my God, you gave it a glowing review.
Yeah, everyone should go listen to it. It's a great song. Okay, and then we had a few albums. We already talked about 𝗲𝗆𝘆's album, but Marco Mengoni put out an album. It's called 𝗤𝗫𝘃𝗀𝘆. It has 38 songs on it. So I don't know if it's like a retrospective or.
Well, that's what I just looked it up, and it's literally, I've never even seen this on Spotify. It has a disc 1 and disc 2 section.
Yeah, well, because it's so long, 38 songs.
Like, I've never seen that. Oh my God, it has a disc 3.
I would have to, right? Because
I've never seen an album on Spotify that like have like parts. Like,
I don't know what
like
the deal
That's
is
crazy.
with this, because I'll admit I don't care. I didn't like 𝗤𝗏𝘃𝗀𝘃, and I don't like that kind of music. So I didn't put any on the playlist from this one because it was like, which song do you choose out of 38?
I have one. So I tell you which one. 𝗵𝗶 with Elodie, because that one has been on my playlist since it's been released, and it came out pretty soon after Eurovision. It's so good. It's for the gays. 𝗵𝗶. Hey, you be listening to this. It's a perfect like walking through the city. No, and it's got Elodie, so you know it's for the gays. Like, it's just it's great.
Okay, I'll add that one to the playlist. I'll add that one.
That one is really good. But I'll have to listen to the album because I mean, I didn't love his Eurovision song, but 𝗵𝗶, great. If these are new songs and it's like, you know, if we got bops, I'm gonna have to look for the bops because the bop was good.
Okay, well, let me know what you find out regarding that one, because I don't know that I'll have the energy to do it. Although maybe at work, it could be nice to listen to some Italian music at work. So Voyager also put out an album. It's called Fearless in Love. I haven't had a chance to listen to this album yet, but I'm sure it's good because they're all like really great musicians. Vesna, they put out an album, and they put out an EP.
I think there's an EP. Yeah,
it was an EP.
The song "Hey Mommy" or whatever. Hey mama, mama, and hey mamas, hey mama, mamas, and hey mamas. If you I don't care. It's great. That's a bop. And I've also been listening to the acoustic version. Actually, it's beautiful. Of My Sister's Crown. That was beautiful. I think they did that for like whenever they were doing like the cover sort of, you know, with
that little bit more
remix and stuff. Yeah, they did it for that, and I was so happy they added it to Spotify. It's a beautiful acoustic version. The video is actually stunning as well. It's a good EP. Yeah.
They've released that one right around the time of Eurovision. So there was a few people who released things right at Eurovision, and I did include that because I felt like that was close enough to being like post Eurovision. Monica Linkite was another one. She released an album in May called Healing. I haven't had a chance to check this one out yet either. Her music style isn't totally for me, but I know a lot of people really loved her. So those people should definitely check out her album. 𝗏𝗏𝘅 just released an album called 𝗥𝗶𝗆.
I'm gonna have to listen. I'm gonna have to stream. Haven't heard anything, but
they have, I mean, they're a long-time musicians. They've got scores of albums, including some with some very interesting titles. I think there's one about like having sex with a dog or something. or
Only
something.
they could get away with that.
All right, only they could get away with it. Okay, so there is another song, a single out by Brunette. Oh my God, why did she not send this song to Eurovision? It's called Holiday Nostalgia. It's amazing. It's partially
not
an
my vibe.
Armenian. It's not your vibe, really? Oh my God, I was listening
What
to it. I'm
about
like,
that would be my vibe?
I don't know, but you liked
I
her other
don't think her
song.
music is for me. I don't think her music is for me. I think that honestly, Future Lover is the only song I'm ever loved from her, because it was so far from her actual style though. Like she's more like jazzy, she's more vibey. That's not my vibe.
I like R&B, so I guess
Yeah,
that's probably
it's R&B.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm not an R&B girl.
Yeah, I like R&B, so I was really into this Holiday Nostalgia song. I thought it was really good. And then Taya and Selena put out a new song. It's called Bye Bye Bye. It is not a cover of NSYNC's Bye Bye Bye. But it's cool. It's like a cool.
It's a bop.
It's a bop. It's absolutely a bop. 𝗲𝗏𝘅𝘆 put out
it's a bop. I mean, I'm glad I want to say I'm glad that they did something like they released something else as a duo, like
because they didn't have
together.
to. It's not like
they were solo artists before. They weren't like so
yeah. Even on Spotify,
I don't know if they'll continue, but
like it came up as like they came up as separate artists. Like they don't come up as like Taya and Selena. Like they came up as separate people. Yeah, I mean, I expect even if we don't see them like doing songs that they sing together, I wouldn't be surprised actually if we saw them co-write a song for Eurovision in the future.
Yeah, because they've already been tweeting about it and stuff. So
yeah, I can see them being like a long-time songwriting duo, even if we don't actually get duets all the time with them. And
I'll put this out to you, Taya and Selena. Hey, if you want to write my Eurovision song, hit me up. I've got ideas. We can chat.
We'll see if they take you up on
I'm
the
just
offer.
fishing for someone to do this song for me.
Well, then you're gonna have to learn how to sing afterwards. Maybe we should get the honest vocal coach on the call.
Me. You've heard me sing before. I don't think I need any lessons.
No, you're perfect. You're perfect.
Yes, I'll book. I do actually want to book a thing with my honest vocal coach, but
I've literally thought about it before too. It would just, I don't know. It would just be funny.
I want to do it.
I have no idea what it would even be like. Yeah. Yeah.
But
okay, so the next song is kind of weird. 𝗲𝗏𝘅𝘅 put out a duet version of 𝗲𝗏𝘆 with a Greek singer named Katerina Stakouti. This song sounds really weird to me. So I couldn't figure out what was going on at first. So I think it's partially in Greek and partially in French. And there's a little bit of remixing that's happened, and it just I don't know. It wasn't hitting for me, this one. And I liked 𝗲𝗏𝘆, but I don't know. So this was one of the only ones where I was actually like, and I guess it's not like a totally new song. It is just a cover, but I did want to include it because it is still a new release.
Yeah,
and it's different.
I don't like when artists do this. I don't like this trend of like you add a single and then you're gonna put another artist on it as like a remix thing. It's not really my vibe.
Or five version, like a fast version and a slow version.
Yeah, it's not really. I don't like it. I want a new song. I want something fresh. Because who was it? Oh my God. Vico, who sang 𝗫𝗏𝘅𝘅𝘆 or whatever from Benidorm Fest.
Yeah.
She did that song with one of my favorite artists right now, who of course she's one of my favorite artists right now, but I don't know her name. Lali. Her name's Lali. And I think she's like Argentinian or something. I don't think she's from Spain, but I was so excited to see they did a song together, and I was like, then I listened to it, I was like, oh, you could tell she just recorded that over in her studio and sent it over. You can literally hear the quality difference.
Oh, I wonder if that's what was going. Why this 𝗲𝗏𝘆 cover sounded so weird? Because there was something about it that just sounded off to me. It didn't. Maybe that's what it was.
The song was made with that one arrangement in mind. And it might just be because you're used to the other version, but I just would rather have 𝗲𝗏 and this other random artist come together and make an original song together. Like,
Yeah,
I don't
totally.
know. This song by 𝗥𝗶𝗆𝗆, Plumas de... Okay, you could try it.
Plumas de Nacar.
Nacar. I don't know how to say it, but bitch,
Amazing.
Amazing. Arguably, yeah, just as good as 𝗥𝗏, but I think it could have done better.
I think it would have done better
because I think it's a little more palatable to like the general audience, and it's kind of really like it's epic. Oh my god, it's crazy. It's crazy.
Really good. Yeah, I was really surprised by this one. And like, I know she's a good singer, but like she had done 𝗫𝗏𝗆 the year before, and I didn't like the song that she had done that year. Yeah. So like it was like it could, you know, there's one song by her that I like, one song that I don't really like. It was like, which one is this one gonna be? But I loved it. I think I like it more than 𝗥𝗏. I
think every song she's been releasing is better than the last. You know, you can really. It's crazy how she's like such a. She almost seems like through her ability as a performer as if she's like a seasoned artist. And I mean, of course, she's surely seasoned in terms of her performance skills, but I mean, it's crazy to think like last Benidorm Fest, maybe 2 years ago, was her first ever single that she released. Like, that's crazy that these are her, like, you know?
She's kind of, I put her in sort of the same box as like Lorraine. Like, she's an artist. Like she's an artist. She's not just a singer. Like, she's a little bit more than that. Like there's a spiritual layer to her that I think sets her apart.
And she's one of those people that's involved in like every aspect of like her visuals and everything. I think I saw that she as a career, she did something with visual performance things, like staging sort of things. And so people were like, oh, we know her, she's got her shit together. Because even her first Benidorm Fest was just, I mean, some of the most gorgeous staging. It wasn't my favorite song, but it was beautiful, and like that makes sense with what we've seen from her. So I'm excited. I'm so excited for what more she brings. She already has as many songs as Chanel.
Oh my god. But well, so going from 𝗥𝗶𝗆𝗆, this incredible conceptual artist, we have the polar opposite, or should I say the Poland opposite, Miss Blanka from Poland. She released
this is a horrible song.
It's called Boys Like Toys. It is terrible. It sounds so cheap.
I didn't think you could get worse than Solo.
It somehow is worse than Solo. It is
like more by miles, actually.
It means nothing. It sounds like it was made on a open source music creation software with like the worst like island synth package. It's just, this song is so bad. I don't even know what else to say other than this is just
horrible. Go listen to it if you want to laugh.
If you want to laugh. It's almost not even funny, actually. It's just like, okay.
Yeah.
So next song is 𝗲𝗏𝗆.
Is this new?
I think it's new. I think he just released it, actually.
Yeah. So it's called Not Okay.
Yeah. It's called Not Okay. I feel like it's kind of like a basic pop song. It feels very adult contemporary radio. It gets good. Like, it's not like with Blanka where it just sounds like a cheap piece of shit, like radio throwaway garbage. Like it's like a nice song. Like, it's well put together. It's very radio friendly, and maybe kind of like on the, not in sound wise, but in feeling wise, something like an Ed Sheeran kind of thing. Like, you could see, you know, your aunt would be into this, or like, you hear it playing at Kohl's when you're shopping at Kohl's.
Yeah, it just doesn't stand out.
Yeah, it for Europeans, Kohl's is like, it's a department store. It's not like a nice place to shop. It's like where your mom would shop. but he's got a great voice. And so, good for him that he's still releasing music. I mean, even his other song wasn't my cup of tea, but he's a great singer. I'm being
For him
nice
that
to
he's still pursuing his dreams.
I have nothing bad to say about 𝗄𝗏, and I don't think his song is bad. It's just not for me. And then we have �爾𝗡𝘆𝗆𝗀. She put out a song called 𝗫𝗏, and it's a dance song. I was like, what is going on? I was expecting like a Balkan ballad. Nope. It's like a fun bop.
I haven't heard it.
You got to listen to it. It's in
all these ones
Albanian.
I feel like I should y'all know I love Albanian.
Yeah, it's in Albanian. It's an Albanian bop, dude. No, you have to check this one out. It's good.
I'm excited.
And I didn't really DJ was okay, but I didn't really like it. It wasn't a song that I wanted to listen to. I like this. Like I would choose to listen to this song. I liked it. I thought it was good. Next one we've got 𝗏𝗏. She's got a song out called, I'm gonna butcher this, but 𝗤𝗍𝘆𝗆𝗪𝗓. It's really nice. I mean, she's such a good singer. Anything she sings, it's gonna sound good.
Yeah, it's that kind of, it's very similar to it's very similar. It's that Portuguese, dancey, it's a good vibe. It doesn't, I guess I would add it to my like work playlist because it's a good song, but it didn't stick out enough to add to my main playlist. You know what I mean?
I know exactly what you mean. Yeah, that tracks. It's good, but it wasn't my favorite of all the songs on the list. But she sings it very well.
Yeah.
Okay, next song. I know you love it because I love it because we both love Riley and his songs.
This is actually, I'm not gonna lie, I'm looking at everything else because I'm trying to make sure, but I'm like, this might be my favorite song that everybody's released because I think it's his best song he's ever released. It's good. It's so good. And I also feel like, I don't know, I feel like it would have been easier for him to sing. It's not as high pitch. Yeah. Like this would have been a really good song to send to Eurovision, and I love it. I love it. I love Riley.
I really like this one. It's one of those. And this is how I felt with Breaking My Heart. It was like the first time I heard it, it got stuck in my head. He's very good. It's probably why he's so popular on TikTok too, because he just has he's able to just write songs that you just immediately like you internalize them. And I felt he kind of pulled that off again with this song. Love him. I can't wait to see what he does next because I love everything he does. I know. I need another single. This one came out like pretty soon after Eurovision. I feel like it's been out for a while. He teased it on TikTok at least for a while.
Yeah. I need another single, Riley. Let's go.
Okay, and then we've got a song from 𝗤𝗍𝘆𝗆𝗪𝗀. It's got a very cryptic title. It's called the 𝗫𝗏 Paradox. It's nice. Yeah. I think we heard him play this song in Liverpool, actually, because when I listened to it, I was like, this actually sounds familiar. Because he did play. Were you at that concert? Did you see him at? I don't think you were there, actually.
Concert.
He played at Camp in Furness. He played the Euro Club. And I can't remember now.
Oh, I don't know if I was there.
You know what?
Was I there?
Oh, do you know what? It might have been the day that Joker Out headlined. And he was like earlier. So you missed him. You probably missed him.
Yes, I either missed it or even Joker Out night. They were so packed in there. I stayed in the back. So I just.
It was really sparse. I remember at the beginning, and I think it was me and Greg and Nolan actually were standing up at the front watching him. Because he's a great live performer for a young kid. Like you can tell he's not scared at all. Like he thrives off of being on the stage. But I'm pretty sure he played this song because it did sound familiar. It's another one of those kind of like with 𝗄𝗏. It's sort of like a song you'd hear in a coffee shop. Like it's there's nothing offensive about it. Like no one would say like, oh, this is a bad song. It's just like, well, this is a song.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I haven't listened to the full song, but I know he was. I've seen all the snippets on TikTok because I follow him all over there, and it's a vibe. Sometimes I feel like, underwhelmed because I expect a little more from an artist coming out of Eurovision to like bring, I don't know, something. But
I do
it was
think this
good.
was, I think it's a pre-Eurovision song, but I'm
Yeah,
almost positive that this was something that like he probably wrote when he was 14.
yeah, it's a vibe. It's a
Yeah,
vibe. It makes sense for him.
it makes sense for him. And he's another one where it's kind of like you got to keep an eye on him because he's not going to stop music.
Oh yeah.
He's gonna, in a few years, like I could see him even coming back to Eurovision maybe.
Oh yeah.
Once he's like old enough to be there, actually. Um, Okay, and the last song of the individual releases, 𝗏𝗏𝘅𝘆 just put out a song called Thinking About You.
Yes.
And another one where it's kind of like, this is a little bit better than your Eurovision song.
Yeah. Yeah. This one's good.
It's good. It's like
I
funky.
I haven't listened to any other the bus. I haven't listened to any of their other music other than this song and their Eurovision song. But based on these two, bitch, I gotta go back into the back catalog.
Well, I recall going back and looking at their other music, and I think they kind of went through, and I might be wrong here, but I think they were like a two-person band, or maybe they were three and they lost a member and then another member
Oh.
came. Like it was one of those things where you could tell that like they like gone through a lot of changes.
Mm-hmm.
But definitely worth going back and looking. But I think this is more one of those situations where like they finally got the pieces together and like the recipe works. And so like
Yeah.
everything before was just getting them to the point that they're at now, and now they're making really good stuff. That's kind of
Yeah.
what I see happening with them. Like they've
Yeah.
grown together.
I'll say like there's definitely, you can see like the artists that what they sent to Eurovision and then like what they're doing after are like two completely different things. Like I'll say like Brunette, like her song is nothing like at all what she sent to Eurovision. So I liked her Eurovision song, but I don't like what I'm getting now. But it's nice to see like the artists that kind of are like, that's they're riding that wave, like, because I kind of feel sad when I see like an artist like send something and then like Brunette, where I'm like, well, I don't know, that wasn't really your vibe. And so now everything you bring out, I'm going to be disappointed because it's just not the vibe that I fell in love with at Eurovision. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like, because you hear that and then you want to go and follow them. And if you go to that artist and they're not really like doing that sound, I don't know. So
Yeah.
it's, I like the Busker and Riley, like they have a distinct sound and they're like, and even Blanca Paloma, like Taya and Selena, like all that. But
Yeah, I think generally it's a mistake to send something to Eurovision that doesn't match what you always do.
yeah,
Like Wild Youth didn't send a song that matches what they always do,
no,
and look what happened. Peak
yeah,
Jack sent a song
Peak
that
Jack.
doesn't necessarily reflect what they normally do, and it didn't work for them. So I think it is better generally to just stick with the type of like music that you do do.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
All right, so
yeah,
last kind of group here, we've got actually artists who have been doing tours, but not just doing tours, specifically performing with each other. So
yeah.
every year we hear from the artists, oh, we're going to do a collab. Oh, we're going to in the studio. Oh, I'm going to come to your country and we're going to hang out. And does it
Yes,
happen? No, no,
it never happens.
it
Go away
never
and
happens.
Monoskin.
It never happened, and I understand why it doesn't always necessarily happen, but this class of people, they have just followed through with what they said they were going to do, and I love them for it.
Yeah.
So 𝗥𝗶𝗄 had a concert in Finland and 𝗏𝗆 from Joker Out performed at it.
Mm-hmm.
Joker Out is about to play in Finland, and I'm pretty sure he's going to sing at their concert. So like that's, like they've been doing some like concert swapping, which is really cute. 𝗥𝗏𝗄 is about to do a whole damn European tour with I
Yeah. Oh
forget
my
all the
God.
countries. Apparently he's not making any money for it. the costs of it, he's not going to
Oh, it
make
costs
any.
so much.
It costs
I
so
see,
much
yeah.
to do the tour that it's not
That
not worth it for him.
sucks.
Oh, you have to think too, the overhead when you tour in Finland is lower because you're already
Yeah.
like you're in your own country. That's less traveling.
Oh.
It's too bad because he should be making money, but he's also giving the people what they want, and
We love him for it.
we love him for it. We just had 𝗥𝗍𝗄 and Sudden Lights had a concert in Latvia together.
Yeah.
𝗥𝗍𝗄's open for
We should
Sudden
have gone.
Lights. God, I would have loved to go. This must have been a great concert though. Like if you like that, if you like indie rock music, like if you like to go to a concert and just like, you know, vibe.
Yeah, they'd be a nice vibe together.
I bet the fans, because I saw pictures, it looked like a really big crowd. I bet the fans of Sudden Lights, if they didn't know 𝗥𝗍𝗄 at all, I bet they really vibed with them. Because they do kind of have a similar sound in as far as it's a little bit moody and like a lot of instrumental flourishes, and like I could see the fans of Sudden Lights really liking 𝗥𝗍𝗄's music when they heard it.
Yeah. And I love the idea of these artists kind of when they're performing in their home country, having another artist that was like in Eurovision, like coming in and joining them and getting a little piece of their audience with it. Like, I feel like I love just with all of this, seeing them all support each other, like continue these friendships, whether or their relationships, whether they just be working relationships or whatever. Like, I just think it's cool. And I think that hopefully it's like a sign for the future for Eurovision as well, because like, also festivals are so big in Europe, and like just like doing like tours or not necessarily tours, but like shows with like a bunch of artists. And who knows, maybe down the road I'd love like a Eurovision is already kind of a festival, I guess, but kind of like during the off season, like during the summer festival season, like there should be some sort of, you know, thing like this where it's like, you know, all the artists, but they don't just perform their Eurovision songs, you know, whatever, like that. Because I know also, who was it? It was 𝗥𝗶𝗄 and Wild Youth. They did like a bunch of shows together.
Right.
Or like earlier
Ireland.
It
was kind of like right after everything. Actually, that's why I forgot about it.
They did like multiple shows together, I'm pretty sure. So that was cool. Like I'd love to see more artists do like that, like real like tours.
Yeah, I would love to see that. That'd be really cool. And I feel like there is some events, like there's Eurostars in concert, I think it's called, that might happen in England. So there are a few events, but like there's nothing that's super big that like specifically pulls Eurovision acts together.
I'd love a legit festival, like a proper festival,
like a Euro club, like a 3-day like mini Euro club somewhere. And like a real like somewhere like Germany that's like really cheap and like accessible to people.
Yeah, or even like kind of the concept of the Euro Village, like what goes on there. I mean, it's kind of like a festival, but just not during the Eurovision season, because like there's so much going on then.
God,
there's always such good artists performing at the Euro Village. Like Jamal was performing, like all these Ukrainian artists were performing there.
Yeah, they did like a whole day.
And I was like, I want to go see them, but there's just so many things going on. I'd love something like during the off season. Whatever happened to that Eurovision cruise?
It happened.
Oh, it happened?
Yeah, girl, it happened. Yeah, I think it went from like Finland to Sweden or Norway or something. Oh yeah, it happened. Yeah. Apparently, I saw that there was some like people from like Oklahoma or something, and they needed to like get back to Sweden, and so they just like took this boat.
I feel like I heard about that. Yeah,
and they just ended up on this Eurovision cruise, and like Caddy is shirtless, spilling water on himself, and everyone's
he was on it.
He was.
What the fuck? I missed out.
I know.
I should have been there. Well, no, I'm not really a cruiser. Like
I'm not. I've never been on a cruise ship. I don't think I'd want to
either. I went on the 𝗥𝗡𝗆 here in Pittsburgh.
I've been on the 𝗥𝗡𝗆. Yeah, I've been on that. It's not really. It's not a cruise.
It's not a cruise. It's a boat. It's just a boat.
So there was also just recently a big concert in London. We had Luke Black, Taya and Selena, and Mia Nikolai all performed. Which I thought was really cool that they all went together. And people went from all over Europe. Like I was seeing like all the people and they're like all traveling to go to this show, like the whole, like all of Euro
Yeah.
Twitter.
Yeah, and I guess it was like it was the 𝗣𝗍 Jam or something, like they were calling it, right? It was with 𝗣𝗍 blogs. They were the ones that organized it, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, was it? I don't know about
I
that.
think so. I think so. And I think that's really cool. And when I saw that, I was like, oh, 𝗣𝗍 blogs, like y'all are really doing it. Like y'all are
Yeah.
smart.
Why don't they put on a festival? They've managed to
They
get the whole
should.
Lush Lounge thing to happen. They've
They
got
really
all the
should.
contacts.
Yeah. You know, I was just listening to them actually on another podcast that I don't know the name of, but it's called Eurodrama,
Ooh.
and it's I Tal and Chacha. Um they're from Israel, and I met them actually in Turin, and they're really, really sweet. But they had Sinan and William from 𝗣𝗍 blogs, and they were talking about Lush Lounge in the future for next year. And I really
Oh.
hope that it continues and stuff. Like, you know, it was the first time they ever did it, so who knows? But hey, I think that was like, I think it should be a staple of the
It
Eurovision
was
experience at this
amazing.
point.
It was amazing. The Lush Lounge thing single-handedly changed my opinion of 𝗣𝗍 blogs because I never had, it's not that I had a necessarily negative opinion of 𝗣𝗍 blogs. I just didn't have a positive one.
Mm.
I didn't particularly love uh their personalities and so much
Mm.
of being like a YouTuber or that type of person, it's you have
Yeah.
to click with someone's personality. And if you don't, well, it doesn't mean I hate every person that I don't click with. So it's just
Yeah.
like I never really clicked with their personalities. And there was plenty of places to get like Eurovision news. So it's not like I was relying on them all the time I wasn't like
Yeah.
getting updates from 𝗣𝗍 blogs. I wasn't really super into it. But then when the whole Lush Lounge thing, I was like, damn, like like they're really doing
Yeah.
something here that like I
Yeah.
didn't realize watching videos at home. That really
Yeah.
did impress me.
They're really like, first of all, they are really always working to make the fandom like the best that it can be. You know, having opportunities for everybody, not just them, for the fans, making the experience just the best it can possibly be. Like, you know, they need to make a festival. We're putting it out there. 𝗣𝗍 blogs next off season. It needs to be the fucking off season. Over the summer, y'all need to organize a festival.
Yeah.
You need to.
Yes. Please, 𝗣𝗍. Here
Yes.
are please. So there was a few other people just to mention that have been working because I see their stories. Ramo from Switzerland, that boy is working. He's always out there. He's doing his small gigs. He's doing his weddings. The buskers out there doing weddings and small events. And I mean, they live in Malta. Like, I mean, how many people even live in Malta? It's not like you're going to be playing arenas. I think 𝗵𝗆𝗍 is probably one of their biggest like
Yeah, they just did a
things.
Pride thing.
Oh, did they? That's good. That's cool.
Yeah, it was cute. They Conchita was there because I was like, oh, okay.
Oh
They
wait, yeah,
replaced
I
me.
saw the picture. I saw that with Conchita. Yeah. Um, and then
I thought I was supposed to be the drag queen of the group, but whatever.
well, there can be two. There can be two. You can make room for
Yeah.
Conchita.
I think
Um,
Conchita doesn't consider themselves a drag queen anymore anyway, so I'll take that place.
and then we also had Joker out doing their Nordic tour, and Theodore
Yeah,
Andre
they
had
have
a
been working.
concert. Yeah, they've always been working though. I mean, they were so established beforehand. Theodore Andre had a concert in London, and I'm just so happy for
Yeah.
him that happened. He got to mingle with his
Oh.
fans, and like I think when he went to the Moldovan national selection, that was one of his first times out of the country.
Oh
It was
my
definitely his
God.
first time in Moldova. Because I know he said
Yeah.
that, but I mean, if that's his first time in Moldova, then it was probably his first
Yeah, I
time
mean,
leaving he's only
yeah.
18. Um, and maybe he's gone other places, but so to go to somewhere like London and have like a headlining show, like that's amazing. Like I think that's really cool. And a lot of people went to it. I saw there. I'm in like a group chat. People were sending their
That's
videos
good.
and stuff. Yeah, it was really cool.
Oh,
Which brings me to the last little bit of a last little bit of stuff to talk about here before we wrap up. Since I'm talking about 𝗲𝗏, I'm just gonna go out and say it. People on Twitter, leave the DGT stands alone. God damn it.
leave the DG tingers.
Leave the DG tingers. Leave the DG tingers. That is so hard to say. Leave us alone, okay? Leave us alone to enjoy TGT in peace. Let us support our boy 𝗲𝗏. We love him. We don't care about all you haters. I have been sickened. And I know that, like, people always like to bring up shit from the past. But I have been just sickened by the amount of people dragging an 18-year-old because they came last at Eurovision. First of all, it was months ago. Second of all, this is a young artist. Third, get a fucking life. Pick on people your own size. Stop with this. Like, it is, I mean, even if it wasn't like one of my favorite songs, one that I was really invested in. And that's another thing too. It's just so annoying to see people say like, oh, are there even any people who like DGT? And it's like, yeah, do you know what? I liked it the second I heard it, and I continued to like it despite everybody else saying that they hated it. Which a lot of people, I think there's a lot of people out there who probably thought it was fine at first, and then they just decided, well, if everyone else hates it, I guess I don't like it anymore if everyone hates it. I'm sure there were people like that. Especially because the haterism was so bad, specifically for that song, and continues to be just unbelievable. I'm honestly sick of it. Like, makes me sick. And because maybe people listening didn't see exactly what happened. So a particular user who I will not call out directly, they had been attacking DGT stands, and so 𝗲𝗏 he name searches himself, okay, on Twitter. Whatever. A lot of people do it. I don't think it's a good idea to do it. But do you do it? I would never do it. I hate myself every time I do, but do you know what? I bet. And so I'm sure that, 𝗲𝗏, he name searches, he sees people say positive stuff, he interacts with the fans, he interacts with his fans. And then he sees this horrible, mean, nasty, mean-spirited post, not attacking him, but attacking his fans. And at that moment, he stepped in and said, basically, don't disrespect my fans. Which is good. Good for him. Good for him to do that. And then this other user, who also happens to be Romanian, just keeps digging in and digging in and digging in deeper and deeper and deeper and fighting with everybody. And it's just like, it's got to stop. It has got to stop. I am so over it. Twitter might be dying anyway, but like at this point, it's almost like good riddance. As it should. Yeah, literally. And this is just, I hate the fact that, like, what is insane to me is, why does anybody think in their brains it makes any sense to send hate to somebody because they are liking a song? Like, Jesus Christ, 𝗲𝗏 is barely getting any fucking love. God forbid we like his fucking song. Like, and we want to just say we like his song. Like, we're not telling you have to like it. We're just saying we like it. And then people get angry about it. And what is funny about that is this particular user who started all this shit in the first place, if you say anything about not liking his favorite songs, he loses it. Absolutely loses it. So you can't like something that he doesn't like, or he's going to treat you like shit. And if you happen to not like his, so like he doesn't have to respect you, but you have to respect his fave. And it's like, it's just, the double standard is so weird. And I don't know, sometimes I have to remember, like, I'm an old hag and I'm not a 19-year-old kid on the internet. And like, maybe that, like, I don't know what these kids are going through these days, but it's like, you gotta grow up, you guys. You just gotta grow up. I don't get it. I don't get Stan Twitter in that way.
I mean, I get the way Stan Twitter operates, but I just don't really see the point. Like, even just what was happening earlier today, where Loreen fans were attacking me because I made a post like saying, congratulations, I'm so happy for Loreen and that she deserves it, of her having her song going so high up in the most streamed Eurovision songs. And I was like, oh, it's so cool that she has, like, I can't think of anybody else that would be more deserving of having 2 songs in the top 10. And then people are like, you were disappointed when she fucking won. She wasn't my fucking winner. She was like my 5th place though. Like, she wasn't like, I didn't hate her entry. I just wanted, just one other person was my winner. So I was rooting for them. Doesn't mean I was like mad that she won. I still think she deserved to win. Like,
No, it's
I
like
don't
you
get
can't
why...
even be happy for people.
No, like, I was like, girl, I'm literally sending her love. Like, what the fuck?
I mean, it's one of those things. So it's like, if you're not, it's like, it's not yes and it's only. You know, you can only support Loreen, and if you support anybody else, then you're not supporting her. It's just, it's, you can like many things at once.
Yeah,
I can like Loreen, and I can like 𝗥𝗶𝗄𝘅, and I can dislike 𝗦𝗹𝘆. It's just, I mean, you can, all those things. I mean,
we didn't even mention the fact that she came out with like 3 singles this summer.
Oh, oops.
You know, she wasn't even on the news. No, I mean,
she's already famous enough. She doesn't need us to plug her new music.
Exactly. No promo from us. She can give us some of that mill. Yeah, exactly. The other thing that, just speaking of crazy Twitter drama, is you know, you guys might not even know who this person is that we're talking about, because
God, wouldn't it be so nice to be someone who's not constantly on Twitter getting their brain rotted out?
I know. I literally been thinking about it. I'm like, I really should not be on Twitter. All of my problems come from Twitter. But
I
like,
wish
I
also
like, put a lock on it
though. Like, can you, is there like, I wish there was a way to like I can be on Twitter for 30 minutes a day.
You can do that on your iPhone. I actually have it set, but it won't actually lock. You can just hit like extend.
Oh.
But I do it, and it keeps me conscious.
I have 2 phones too. I've got like an Android phone and an iPhone, so I'd probably have to do it to both.
Yeah, I mean, but it even just keeps me conscious of how much time I'm spending on it. It does make me, like, whenever the message pops up, it makes me go, oh, maybe I should close out. So you could do that. I have it set for that and TikTok for me. But basically, Josh 𝗥𝗶𝘆, who represented the UK back in 2010, with his song That Sounds Good to Me, he came last place, so it's understandable if you don't remember it. Actually, let me just read you guys like his
coming last at Eurovision is like such a British coded thing to do.
It really is. Well, let me read you his Wikipedia. Josh 𝗥𝗶𝘆, born 27 November 1990, is a British singer-songwriter.
Wait, 27 of November 1990? I was born 25th of November 1990. We're almost birthday twins.
Wow. Well, I'm sorry to you. Well, he's a British singer and right-wing nut job. Somebody, it's Wikipedia says that right.
Oh my God. Right oh my God.
I know. So shout out to whoever dragged him like that. But basically, he's just like, he's gone down the deep depths of Trump craziness. And like today, the new thing is he tweeted out saying like, Russell, I don't know if you've heard about this whole Russell Brand rape thing going on.
Yeah, it's disgusting.
He tweeted out being like, I stand with Russell Brand. And he's just been, you know, just all the Trump conspiracies you can imagine, everything. It's just, it's
literally, because it was okay. I have it up because I went to his Twitter page because I wanted to find this crazy tweet that started everything, and it was on August 29th. It happens to be his pinned tweet on Twitter if you want to go find it. It's very easy. This guy is so deranged, so far down the rabbit hole. So I was so confused on the 29th of August when all of a sudden my feed is just full of this weird tweet with a picture of Donald Trump, and it says, the only thing Trump is guilty of is exposing Washington corruption. And it's a fairly average, like, bullshit Trump thing. It was just weird to me because it's like in Eurovision Twitter, you don't get Trump stuff popping up. So I thought this was like a weird algorithm thing that this kept pumping up. And like I was reading through it, and it's literally, the guy plays for Twitter Blue. It is like a huge, it's a novel. He wrote a damn novel up in here in his post. But he says something about when you realize that, it's literally the second paragraph says, when you realize that Trump wasn't racist until he went up against the deep state. As soon as I saw that one, I was like, okay, what is this? Because Trump and his father were absolutely prosecuted in the 1970s for violating the Fair Housing Act because they refused to rent their apartments to Black people. So right off the bat, I was like, this is obviously bullshit. Like it's with a picture of defending Trump, obviously it's going to be a bunch of crap, but that really was like, okay, well, this is just so stupid. And so I just kind of ignored it, but I kept seeing it all day, and then finally somebody said, like, in clear words, like, how does it feel to come last at Eurovision and then embarrass yourself like this? And I was like, oh my God, I didn't remember Josh 𝗵𝗆𝘆 and his last place song. It didn't click for me. But that this guy was in Eurovision, and I guess he's got a podcast, and he's like a right-wing grifter now.
Of course he does. Everybody's making podcasts these days.
Everybody these days.
Down with the podcast.
Yeah, no. Cut that part out.
No.
But yeah, it's so weird that this, like, every day on Twitter is a new adventure with Eurovision world.
Yeah, and it's always especially weird to me whenever any artist comes out in support of Trump that's not from America.
Right? Why is a British guy digging in on Trump like this? It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. Like, and as far as I'm aware, he does not even live in the it's not like he moved here.
Yeah, I don't think so.
I think I saw something that he moved to Canada. So why are you, like, what are you doing?
Well, Canadians are weirdly obsessed with Trump too, like right-wing Canadians are.
Y'all need to get it together.
Yeah, get it together, people. But yes.
Yeah, I'm sick of it.
I know, if it wasn't for Twitter connecting us with so many people, I would totally get off the app.
That's what I'm saying. It has so many positives. I've met so many good friends. I mean, we met through Twitter.
Yeah, we did.
That's why I don't want to get rid of it. But I mean, oh my God, every week I'm getting canceled by a new Albanian singer. Like, I just can't with this every week. And I do it to myself too. It's just, I just can't.
You do. Sometimes you step right in it. I'm telling you.
I
There's
do.
Been days where I'm like, girl, what
up.
the fuck are you tweeting? Put the phone away.
I know.
I need to put the phone away too sometimes.
I need to have Twitter, but I need to be famous enough to have somebody run my Twitter. Because I can't. I need somebody to post my looks and stuff. I cannot be on there.
Twitter's like one of those things. Can't live with it, can't live without it.
Yeah.
But so maybe this is a good time for us to plug our other social media that people can follow us on in the inevitable death of Twitter. So you can always follow me at 𝗍𝗍𝘆𝘆 on Instagram and on TikTok, and also on YouTube. So definitely follow me on YouTube. I'm going to be doing reaction videos as we get a little bit more into the season.
Yes, and you can follow me everywhere, at 𝗥𝗶𝗆𝗆𝗆. And all the links are in the description down below. So don't forget as well, after following us on all of our social media, head over to our Patreon, and you can subscribe over there so you get early access to every single week, our episodes on Thursdays, early release of both the audio and the video, full length, ad-free. And even if you just want to tip like $1 or $2, you get a shout out at the beginning of the episode. So there's a lot of fun stuff going on over there. And yeah, guys, my name is 𝗥𝗶𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆. It's been so fun just giving a little Eurovision recap with you guys.
It's been great. Always wonderful to see you, Maxxy. And thank you to
Yes.
everybody who's watched and commented along for our live premieres. I love talking to you guys during the live premiere. So thank you so much for
Yes.
sticking around for those.
It's so much fun. Ah, yay. See you guys later. Goodbye.